Intensely bright, powerful, and perhaps even a little overwhelming to behold. They are not. Imagine beings of pure light and fire. These are often how we picture the seraphim. They're a very special kind of angel, spoken of in ancient texts. Their name itself tells us something important about them. The word seraphim comes from a Hebrew word meaning burning ones or fiery serpents. This suggests a nature that is intensely bright, powerful, and perhaps even a little overwhelming to behold. They are not gentle cherubic figures in these descriptions. Instead, they are mighty spirits radiating with an awesome holy energy that speaks of their closeness to the very source of all creation. These remarkable beings are often described as standing in the very presence of God. Think of the most glorious throne room you can imagine. The seraphim are said to be there, closest of all angelic orders to the Creator. This proximity means they are bathed in divine light and glory. It also suggests they understand things about the divine nature that are beyond our simple comprehension. They are not merely messengers, though they might communicate divine will. Their primary existence seems to be one of constant adoration and worship, a continuous song of praise that fills the heavens with its sound and power. The idea of the seraphim can fill us with a sense of wonder. They represent a level of existence so pure and so devoted that it challenges our everyday understanding of life. They are not concerned with earthly matters in the same way other beings might be. Their focus is entirely upward towards the divine. This makes them figures of immense spiritual power. They're symbols of divine love and divine justice, wrapped in a consuming fire that purifies and sanctifies. To contemplate the seraphim is to contemplate the very majesty of the Creator they serve so faithfully. Understanding the seraphim helps us to grasp the vastness of the spiritual world. It is a world populated by beings of incredible diversity and purpose. The seraphim, with their fiery nature and exalted position, remind us that the divine is not always gentle and quiet. Sometimes it is a blazing fire, a powerful force that commands reverence and awe. They stand as a testament to the sheer glory that can exist beyond our normal sight, a glimpse into the incandescent heart of the sacred, forever burning with an unwavering and magnificent light. The origins of the seraphim are deeply rooted in ancient religious traditions, most notably within the Abrahamic faiths. They are not beings who evolved or came into existence by chance. Instead, these texts present them as direct creations of God. They were brought into being for specific, holy purposes. One of the most famous accounts comes from the book of Isaiah in the Hebrew Bible. Here, the prophet Isaiah has a vision of God on his throne, and around the throne are the seraphim, calling out, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. The whole earth is full of his glory." This gives us a clear picture of their primary role. Their foremost purpose, then, is one of perpetual praise and worship. They are celestial choir leaders, constantly glorifying the Creator. This is not a chore for them, it is the very essence of their being. Their existence is a continuous act of adoration. Beyond this, the seraphim are also seen as guardians of the divine throne. They surround the holiest presence, ensuring its sanctity and majesty are upheld. They are like sentinels of the sacred. Their fiery forms are warning to any impurity or irreverence. Their presence signifies the immense holiness and untouchable nature of the divine realm. Another vital aspect of their purpose involves purification. In that same vision of Isaiah, one seraph took a live coal from the altar with tongs. He flew to Isaiah and touched the prophet's lips with the coal. This act cleansed Isaiah of his sin and prepared him for his prophetic mission. This illustrates that the seraphim can act as agents of divine purification. Their fiery nature, which might seem fearsome, can also be a force for cleansing and consecration. They help to make individuals ready to encounter the divine or to carry out sacred tasks, burning away unworthiness. Thus, the seraphim are not simply beautiful distant figures. They have active roles within the divine order. They exist to magnify God, to protect the sacred space around him, and to purify those chosen for divine service. Their creation was a deliberate act, placing them at the pinnacle of the angelic hierarchy, closest to the divine light. Their purpose is profound, to reflect and amplify the glory of the Creator, serving as a constant reminder of the ultimate holiness and power that governs all existence. Their entire being is dedicated to this high and sacred calling. When we try to picture seraphim, a striking image often comes to mind, largely thanks to descriptions in religious texts. The prophet Isaiah describes them as having 6 wings. This is a very specific and symbolic detail. With 2 wings they covered their faces, likely out of reverence and humility, before the overwhelming glory of God. With another 2 wings they covered their feet, perhaps another sign of humility or to shield themselves from the holy ground. And with the final 2 wings they flew, poised for service and movement within the divine presence. Their form is one of awe and action. Beyond their wings, their most defining characteristic is their fiery nature. They are the burning ones. This fire can symbolize many things. It can represent their intense love and zeal for God. It can also signify purity, as fire consumes dross and refines metal. The fire might also point to divine judgment or the intense, consuming holiness of God himself, which the seraphim reflect. This association with fire makes them powerful and sometimes intimidating figures, far removed from the idea of gentle, placid angels. They embody a vibrant, active, and consuming spiritual energy. While the most detailed descriptions of seraphim come from Abrahamic traditions, particularly Judaism and Christianity, the concept of fiery, winged, divine beings is not entirely unique. Some scholars see parallels or echoes in other ancient Near Eastern mythologies. For instance, winged guardian figures, sometimes with serpentine or radiant qualities, protected thrones or sacred sites in Mesopotamian and Egyptian art and belief. While not identical, these figures share some functional or symbolic similarities with the seraphim, such as their protective roles and their association with divinity and power. These connections suggest a wider human fascination with such powerful celestial guardians. However, it is important to note that the specific theology and characteristics of the seraphim, particularly their 6 wings and their song of Holy, 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 are quite distinct. In Christian angelology, they are placed in the highest choir of angels, closest to God. Islamic tradition also speaks of angels who bear God's throne, sometimes described with multiple wings and immense power, who share this role of praising God. Though names and precise details may vary, the underlying idea of supreme, fiery beings in direct service and adoration of the Creator resonates across different spiritual landscapes, highlighting a shared human sense of awe before the divine. The image of the seraphim, these radiant beings of fire and light, has not faded with the passage of centuries. They continue to capture the human imagination. We find their presence in countless works of art, from ancient mosaics and illuminated manuscripts to Renaissance paintings and modern spiritual art. Composers have set their holy, holy, holy cry to music, creating powerful hymns and oratorios that try to capture a sense of heavenly worship. Writers and poets, too, have invoked the seraphim as symbols of ultimate purity, divine love, or overwhelming spiritual experience. Their fiery wings and ceaseless praise remain potent symbols. In modern spiritual thought, the seraphim often represent the highest form of divine love and zeal. For individuals on a spiritual path, contemplating the seraphim can be an inspiration. They encourage a deeper devotion and a more fervent connection to the divine. Their unwavering focus on God serves as a model for spiritual aspiration. The fire associated with them is seen not just as destructive, but as a transformative power, the fire of divine love that can purify the heart and ignite the soul with passion for what is good and holy. They remind us that spirituality can be an intense and all-consuming experience. Furthermore, the seraphim embodied the profound mystery and awe that surrounds the concept of God. Their depiction, particularly covering their faces in humility, suggests that the divine reality is so immense, so glorious, that even the highest angels cannot gaze upon it fully. This teaches a lesson in humility and reverence. In an age that often seeks to explain everything, the seraphim stand as a reminder that some truths are beyond complete human comprehension. They represent the otherness of God, a majesty that inspires wonder rather than full understanding, inviting worship over analysis. Therefore, the seraphim continue to hold significant meaning. They are more than just mythical creatures. They are enduring symbols of divine majesty, unwavering devotion, and the purifying power of sacred love. They challenge us to look beyond the mundane, to imagine the heights of spiritual existence, and to consider the awesome nature of the Creator they endlessly adore. Their burning light serves as a beacon, reminding us of the intense glory that lies at the heart of faith and the profound call to worship that echoes from the celestial realms into our own lives today.